about economic fairness or affordability or something like that. This seems to be the thing that has captured the attention of a lot of the public. And according to surveys, a lot of people simply do not believe they've been told the truth about that. What does that public skepticism tell you more broadly about where voters are right now?
Well, I think it's a touchstone that reflects something much bigger about people feeling that their government isn't telling them the truth. And it's easy to see why frustration about that has reached a boiling point in this country. Again, I would point to promises that this administration made saying, hey, we're going to be the ones who are finally for you, only to behave in the exact opposite way, kicking people off Medicaid after promising they wouldn't, increasing tax breaks for billionaires, which is why they needed to pay for it by kicking people off of healthcare. But look, we got a broader issue of a breakdown, a collapse really in societal trust. This has been going on for years. I wrote a whole book about this 5 years ago, and I think it's even more important now. And unless there is a higher degree of fidelity between our institutions, our leaders, and the people they serve, then issue after issue will become volcanic, as this has. And it's just not sustainable.
On that matter of trust, somebody watching this, listening to this, is going to say, well, Biden didn't release the Epstein file when he had the chance.
Yeah, he also didn't campaign promising that he would. I don't know how decisions were made in DOJ. That was different from my world. But what I know is that Donald Trump made a big deal about this, promised to bring this to light right away, and now he's blocking it.
There are also Republicans alleging that you and others in the administration did not say all you knew about President Biden's condition, how his age has affected him over time.
That's not true. In my case, at least, I told the truth, which is that he was old. You could see that he was old. And also, when it came to my ability to do my job and have my boss, my president, support me in that job, I always got whatever I needed from him, from the Oval Office.
You never had a moment before that famous presidential debate where you worried about whether he was all there?
There are moments where I thought, he's looking tired today, or where I noticed that he was aging. But there was never a moment where I thought, this decision, this policy, or this process is going worse or is wrong because of the fact that he's old.
Do you think that he just had a bad night on that debate? That he was getting worse over time? What was going on?
Look, I think it was clear, and even he reached this conclusion, right, that he was not able to mount a successful campaign and run again, which is why he stood down. At the same time, what I saw when I was doing my job was that when I needed the White House and when I needed the president, I got what I needed.
Let me put a proposition on the table, and we'll see if you agree with it or not. I think it's possible to say, looking at the last election, looking at the last several years, that the country has changed, that politics have changed, that Republicans figured that out and captured the moment, and Democrats have failed to do so up to now. Do you agree with that?
I would mostly agree. Yeah. I think that Democrats have been slow to understand the changes in how people get their information, slow to understand some of the cultural changes that have been happening, and maybe most problematic of all, too attached to a status quo that has been failing us for a long time. Right now, you've got an administration that is burning down so many of the most important institutions that we have in this country, which is wrong. It is also wrong to imagine that we should have just kept everything going along the way it was. If our politics, our economy, and our culture were healthy, the rise of a figure like Donald Trump would never have happened in the first place. And I think that my party needs to do a better job of addressing the fundamental problems that have led people to mistrust everything and to anticipate what is going to happen next. Every defeated political campaign, but certainly my party right now, is vulnerable to the temptation to fight the last war, to think about the last campaign. And we should learn from the last campaign. But we are already in a dramatically different world than we were 6 months ago, let alone 4 years ago.